Hey, what's up? It's Brian and Logan from IGN and your favorite weekly Nintendo show here at IGN Nintendo Voice Chat. Logan, you just played two big, awesome, exciting, highly anticipated Capcom games on Nintendo Switch 2, which blows my mind that's even happening, makes me so happy. Let's start with Resident Evil Requiem, I think probably my most anticipated game of the year. I was shocked to find out that this game was coming to Switch 2, and it'll be there day and date. So yeah, tell me all about it.
Yeah, it was awesome on Switch 2. The demo I played is something we've seen before. It is Grace waking up kind of in the hospital bed after she was captured and then tiptoeing through these dimly lit hallways. You find a lighter, you go into a dark room, big jump scare, big horrifying monster chases you for the rest of the demo. So it's nothing new content-wise, but just playing it on Switch 2 was the new thing, and great, fantastic version of this game. Awesome that it's going to be there on launch. And this game runs at 60 FPS on Switch 2, which
nuts.
I didn't expect. I thought it would be 30 for sure, like Final Fantasy VII Remake just was on Switch 2. Also a great port, but that's just what I was expecting. But like playing it, I think the biggest compliment that I can give Requiem on Switch 2 is that I was so terrified being chased by this monster that I no longer cared what version I was playing. When you go to one of these events, you're like, you have such a critical eye of this Switch 2 thing. We're not used to these big games being on Nintendo platforms yet. So you're like, oh, the lighting on the wall doesn't look probably as good as it does on PS5, and all these things that if you're just playing this game at home, you wouldn't think about. But the second that monster like sprints out at you and then is just following you for the rest of the demo, I'm not worried about lighting, textures, or frame rate or anything because it looks so good. I'm immersed in this world, and it doesn't matter anymore. Like, this is a totally great way to play this game.
I'm scared.
See, this is like on a personal level, this is I don't know what to do with this information because I have a PS5, I've got a Series X, I got a gaming PC. Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 are two of the best looking visually games ever made, but the portability on Switch 2 is one of those things where I'm like, the slight, the trade-off in textures and stuff like that versus the fact that I can bring this thing anywhere. That's it. Oh man, I might have to double dip.
Like for me personally, I'm still gonna play this on PlayStation 5. Like I think if you need the portability, or if you don't have another place to play it, absolutely don't hesitate. Like, it's going to be great on Switch 2. But if you still have a PS5, like, yeah, Resident Evil games are always visual showcases. That's still going to be the better place to play it.
So slightly, or I'll say significantly less exciting for me is that you got to play it with the new Switch 2 Pro controller that has a Resident Evil newspaper clipping on it. Of all of the iconic things from the history of that franchise, that's where they went. Which I was a little like, okay, I'm glad I don't collect Pro controllers, but what was it like seeing that in person?
Yeah, it's not a great controller. I honestly, I was playing in a very dimly lit room. They're trying to set the vibe for just the horror atmosphere, and I'm in this big armchair, and the Capcom rep has to tell me, oh, by the way, that's the Resident Evil Pro controller, because it looks the same. Like, you don't even notice if it's a little bit dark in there. And the Switch 2 logo is covering the Resident Evil logo, so it's like Resident Switch 2 Evil. It's a bizarre controller, but yeah, I did play with it. And if you're watching when the jump scare happens in this footage with my controller kind of in the shot, you can see that I totally jumped at the jump scare because I'm not that good with horror games. I love Resident Evil, but I kind of have to push myself through them, which is why I'm excited that this has the first and the third person option, because first person horror is a little much for me, but third person can totally do it. And it's cool because Grace trips and stumbles over herself when she's running from the monster in third person, because she's also really terrified and hasn't done this before, like Leon, who's done it a million times at this point.
Right. Are you sure you didn't just see the price tag on the Switch 2 Pro controller and
yeah, that's what made me jump. You have $100.
No, I'm really excited to see how the Leon stuff. I mean, period, because I've played the Grace demo at Gamescom last year, and it's really cool. But once I found out Leon's in there, I'm an old school Resident Evil 4 guy, which honestly makes me miss the chainsaw controller. I hope they get to make something like that again someday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see how this game scales, because obviously we've seen smaller environments like the small hallways and corridors that you've been in, and I'm wondering how some of the larger, the Capcom has stated this is not an open world game, but it does seem like it's going to have some big sort of areas. I know Village did. It had a lot of big sort of fields leading into castles and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm fascinated to see how Switch 2 holds up when it comes to the bigger set pieces, the more action-oriented gameplay that we're going to see from Leon, and just some of the larger environments.
I agree. That is the big question because, like I said, love what I've seen so far on Switch 2, but this is very dark, very narrow hallways, no weapons, no combat. She just has some glass bottles and a lighter. Like, there's no crazy, I'm not Leon with a chainsaw killing a bunch of zombies. I'm just tiptoeing through these places being chased by exactly one enemy.
Yep.
I hope it will hold up. I think it will. I mean, I think it's going to. It may not maintain that rock-solid 60 the whole way on Switch 2, but I think it's going to be a really solid port.
Yeah, Capcom are technical geniuses, and the engine they've been running with the last few years, I feel like they wouldn't have even bothered porting this if it was going to run into issues like that, right?
Yeah.
Lastly, this game comes out the same day as all of the other versions, but it's also launching with some bundle deal. You can get 7, 8, and Requiem all at the same time.
Yeah, which is really great. Like, there's cloud versions of these games on Switch 1, but that's not the best way, so getting real versions is really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. So I might double, triple dip on the old ones just to get more Resident Evil on the go.
You just gonna stay here when this is all done? What do you want?
Now, you also played another giant, highly anticipated Capcom game, Pragmata, which this was the one I think I was a little more surprised about it coming to Switch 2, but you've played it. It exists. It's real.
Yeah, and it's also really, really good. It is not quite as pretty as Resident Evil is, and I think that is because of exactly what we were talking about. It takes place in this very, very bright, white, illuminated lunar research station, and there's bigger environments, and there's just kind of more lighting to expose some of the rougher edges, but that's me being pretty critical. It's still totally playable, looks really, really good, and runs really nice. It's also targeting 60, doesn't hit that quite as consistently as Resident Evil. This is a really cool version of this game, and this game is just really cool, Brian. I love the combat in this. You're playing as this soldier with this android Diana on his back, and Diana targets these androids that you're fighting and has to hack them, and you're like doing this little quick time event minigame where you're using the face buttons to move a cursor from the start to the goal, and you're moving through like blue squares that increase the damage, and you're avoiding red squares which cancel your damage, and you're doing that while you're aiming and shooting and strafing as Hugh at the enemy. So it's really kind of this left brain, right brain thing, which is really fun to do at the same time. And then there's these little modifiers you can pick up and add to your hack board where it's like, oh, if you go through this yellow square, you'll hack all 3 enemies at a time instead of just the one. And I'm excited to see how they're kind of just going to keep pushing that forward as we play this game because it's a really cool concept.
And you played what's called the Sketchbook demo, right?
Yes, that's on PC now also, and coming to consoles, including Switch 2 at a later time, but currently it's only on PC.
Is this another situation where you're like, you're going to play this game, you'll probably play it on other consoles, but if you only had a Switch 2, you would feel confident being like, yeah, I think this is going to be a good place to play it?
Yeah, feel the exact same way. I think this is really solid, really competent, not the prettiest, a little rougher than Resident Evil was, but still, like if you only got a Switch 2, absolutely look into this when it comes out because it was totally playable and solid, and this is a game where like responsiveness is really important because you're doing that really quick hacking where it's like a rhythm game. You're pressing those buttons really, really fast, and the Switch 2 totally kept up with all of it, which it's just crazy to say. Like these brand new AAA games that are on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series are making it to Switch 2, and that's really great to see because I think, Brian, we both thought that it was going to be a lot of PS4 ports,
yes,
which we're seeing, and those look really good too, but to see new games come out, like we're getting Indiana Jones this year also, it's really, really solid so far.
Yeah, just last year we got Chronos, The New Dawn, we got Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows, a bunch of games where I was like, I don't think, before the Switch 2 came out and we hadn't like truly benchmarked it yet, I didn't expect that, and so yeah, makes me happy. Makes me really happy that this is happening. One exclusive thing that this game does have that the other ones will never get is an Amiibo, which you got to see with your own eyes. Do you want it? I mean, you collect Amiibos, right?
I'm getting out on Amiibo. I'm not all in like I used to be anymore. There's so many. They just keep going. I still get my favorites, but there's just too many to keep up with now. And yeah, I saw the Pragmata one, which is Diana. I'm not sure what it does in-game yet, but that's going to have an Amiibo. Resident Evil has a Grace Amiibo and hopefully a Leon Amiibo as well. We don't know exactly yet. And then another Capcom game, Monster Hunter Stories 3, is getting Amiibo also. So Capcom is still all in on Amiibo on Switch 2.
Right, and they just did a bunch for Street Fighter as well. So yeah, they're probably single-handedly responsible for why you stop collecting every single Amiibo.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's Pragmata. Is that launching the same day as the other versions?
It is, yeah. It's coming out in April on Switch 2 at the same time as everywhere else.
Awesome. So yeah, if you have a Switch 2, you have 2 awesome, exciting new Capcom games coming your way. Or if you like Resident Evil, you have 3 of them, and you haven't somehow played Resident Evil 7 and Village. Village is like legit one of my favorite games of all time, so
cool.
That one I'm definitely buying again. But yeah, Logan, thank you so much for catching us up on these awesome Switch 2 games coming soon. Find out more. We'll have reviews for these games up in a couple of weeks when they're available to the public, and plenty more hands-on impressions on our weekly Nintendo show, Nintendo Voice Chat, the only place where you can get the thing, as they say. Logan, I'll talk to you soon, and thanks for telling me all about Switch 2.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.